MotorWeek is made possible by Lucas Oil, TireRack.com, and RockAuto.com.
All right, so this is the hot hatch from Toyota. All the enthusiasts in America have been waiting for the GR Corolla. About to head out to the track here, just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy there, Eager Beaver. Let's at least introduce the car before we get into what it can do on the track. As I said, this is the 2023 Toyota GR Corolla, Toyota's third model in the States to wear the Gazoo Racing badge. The heat from this hot hatch comes from a 1.6-liter 3-cylinder turbo, swiped from the GR Yaris, which is forbidden fruit here in America. Lucky for us, Toyota squeezed a little more juice out of it for the GR Corolla, as it now rates 300 horsepower and up to 295 pound-feet of torque. We'll get into that in a bit, but for now, let's get back on track.
So the GR Corolla does have an all-wheel drive system. Right now, there are 3 settings. There's the default, which is a 60-40 front to rear bias. Right now I'm in 50-50 split torque. And you can also go 30 front and 70 to the rear. I prefer to keep it with the torque split to 70% to the rear, 30% to the front, as opposed to 50% front and back. I like to feel better. I feel like I have more control. We go to a tighter corner and you can feel the front end, the limited slip front differential. That's front and rear. You get that standard on the 1 year only circuit edition, but here on this core model, it's a performance option, and I would highly recommend it.
The front and rear limited slip differentials are part of a $1,180 performance package, which also includes 4-piston front brakes with red-painted GR logoed calipers and 14-inch ventilated and slotted rotors. Given the core model's base price of just under $37,000, adding the performance pack still keeps it well below $40,000. This 1 year only circuit edition, on the other hand, starts at $43,995 and adds a forged carbon fiber roof, functional air ducts on the hood, as well as suede inserted sports seats in the cabin. Regardless of trim, transmission is a 6-speed manual only.
Standard, of course, though, with this manual transmission, an intelligent manual transmission, as Toyota calls it, IMT, is an active rev matching feature. But if you want it, you have to turn it on. I have it on right now, down into third, quick flip of the throttle for me. That was all the car. Perfect downshift.
Throws are short and have a solid feel. The slightly heavier than average clutch fell right into my sweet spot, although the engagement point was a little high for my liking. While pushing the car on the track, I appreciate the digital gauge cluster's easy to read at a quick glance nature. And the sound? Well, I'll let you be the judge. Outside the car at idle, there's a deep rumble controlled by a centralized third exhaust pipe, which remains open up until 20 miles per hour when it closes, only to open up again at 4,500 RPM, which Toyota says reduces back pressure. At lower speeds, there's quite a bit of turbo noise, especially when letting off the throttle. Speaking of that single scroll turbo, max boost is set at 25.2 psi in the core and circuit models, while the Morizo edition ups it to 26.3 psi. That's supposedly enough to hit 60 in less than 5 seconds. But that's not the whole story of the Morizo edition.
Right away in this Morizo edition, it just feels more responsive. That throttle tip in and a lot more front end grip. Wow.
Back to the torque rating I mentioned earlier, the Morizo edition spins up 295 pound-feet of torque compared to the core and circuit's 273 pound-feet. It peaks a tad later on the rev band, but there's a noticeable difference as it pulls through the mid-range. As for the grip, it's aided not just by stickier Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s, but by stiffer spring rates on the front McPherson suspension.
Yeah, I'm carrying a lot more speed in the corners. Just in the Morizo edition. And we'll go hard braking in the third. Whoop. Yeah, the grip's there. So the question I had coming into this drive was, is the GR Corolla a legit hot hatch that rivals Golf R, Civic Type R? And pretty quickly my question was answered. It is a legit hot hatch.
So then the question becomes, is the $50,000 Morizo edition worth the extra money over the entry-level model? Well, if you're into exclusivity, but not rear seats, the answer is yes, because Toyota is only selling 200 of them in the US, and each one jettisons the back seat in the interest of weight savings. But if you're into the best bang for the buck and have more than one friend, the GR Corolla Core model is one healthy heap of hot hatch fun, and it'll hit dealers this fall with the Morizo and Circuit editions to follow in 2023. In the meantime, keep it locked on MotorWeek for more on the GR Corolla and others soon.